myself better and to know what I am good at and what is interesting for me. My name is Amanda Leong. Currently, I'm a professional metaphysics consultant.
This is important.
I was actually at a crossroad. When I look back at the Bazi, that is where the change of pillar took place. For those who know a little about Bazi, at a time where I wanted to quit my corporate job, but of course it's a very difficult decision for me because after working hard for more than 20 years and climbing the corporate ladder to be there, it's obviously not an easy thing. And the worst of all is I don't know what I want to do. I want to change. I am tired of the corporate, but to become what? That is the next major decision. And to give up something of that nature and to get another job at that level is not easy. That actually makes me take up Bazi. A friend who referred this client to me to help her out because they know she has problem health issue. She had difficulty conceiving and had several miscarriages. They refer her to me, hopefully that I can help her. When I look at her chart, it's the same like TCM, traditional Chinese medication, the 5 elements thing from your Bazi chart. You can see what are the problems and how to make use of the so-called useful God to help them. So from her chart there, I can analyze what is the best method to help her to overcome this issue. She followed the advice and glad to say that now she's a mother to a very happy daughter, and she actually personally thanked me for helping her out. This is a great sense of fulfillment where I never get to achieve during my corporate life.
Such a great tip.
Yeah.
Really great. No, it's really great. That's the best tip that I've heard till now. Really.
Awesome.
You're so kind and so funny. Thank you very much for your time and for your great advice and your great tips. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Hey, great, lovely afternoon. It's an awesome, lovely Saturday afternoon. It's one day before Father's Day in the year 2021. How are you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in live to my LinkedIn live show, and it's broadcast at the same time on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So thanks for joining in. Do ask really good questions because you get to direct how this LinkedIn live and how this live show is going to be like, all right? I already see a lot of familiar names here. Hey, hello, Pauline and Roy. Wow, Roy's here. Hey, Roy. Oh, Teacher Ken. How have you been, Teacher Ken? You have a show on Monday, right? With Dr. Ali. And Lina. Hey, Lina. Wow, all of you guys are really, really good. David. Hey, how are you going, David? Still have your pineapple tart first. Doctor, hey, Doctor, you're very supportive. Every time I turn on my live, you are here. Wow, awesome. Right, David and Doctor, and oh my goodness, my long lost buddy, Angie. Now, guys, if you have anything that you want to know about jewelries, and sparkles and diamond, Angie is the person to go to, right? So please connect with her. Angie, I've known her for more than 12 years, I guess. Or even more than that, yeah. David say, hello, Jeannie. LinkedIn users say, good afternoon, all. Now, if you don't see your name or your profile photo here, chances are you have not clicked on the StreamYard link. People in the audience, can you please paste that StreamYard link, for them to just click on so I can feature the name in the photo. Aiden is here. Aiden is the payroll outsourcing expert. Wow, so supportive, you guys. I feel the love. Right, awesome. And we have Vivian here. is a financial coach, right? So anything to do with money, check her out, check her out. Wow, Angie, we actually got to know for more 18 years. Oh, time flies. I feel like I'm still 18. All right. Now, for those of you who have been following my LinkedIn posts in the past 1 week, I posted a poll. All right, posted a poll asking about how do you define luck, right? How do you define luck? Now, it's a very interesting topic, all right, that I feel is very relevant now in the pandemic, because all of us are in the pandemic since last year, right? And you see some businesses thrive, some businesses are still struggling. Of course, strategies are very important. Okay, hard work definitely very, very important. Okay, your network, your resources, your business ideas, all these are crucial, right? And luck is something that can kind of like push you, from achieving 99% to 100%. Okay, but then again, luck has been this voodoo thingy that we all believe that some are lucky, some are not. But I also come across a lot of instances where some people can deploy strategies to activate their luck, to enhance their luck, or to attract luck easier than others. When I say luck here, I'm talking about opportunities, things that you wish you could have, that could make your journey smoother, and you could actually attract those things or create those things. And I think the word create here makes a lot more sense, because we are all very practical beings here, right? So my poll that I did about 3 days ago, I asked this question, right? What is your definition of luck? Okay, and I gave 3 options. Number 1, luck means laboring under correct knowledge. Okay, it's also an acronym of LUCK, right? Laboring under correct knowledge. That means you have to have the right knowledge and you have to work hard, okay, using the right knowledge, and you get lucky. Another definition that I put in my poll is preparation meets opportunity. Okay, so you got to be prepared. When the opportunity is here, you can, take advantage of it. And then the other is ability to predict the future. Okay, so, and then of course another option in my poll is all of the above. So it's quite interesting to see the poll that almost half of those who participated in the poll voted for the meaning preparation meets opportunity, and the other half voted for all the above. So let's just say the most popular definition is preparation meets opportunity. Okay, with the other half also believe that you have to also labor under correct knowledge and also having the ability to predict the future. Yes or yes? So all of the above. Now, when we talk about laboring under correct knowledge, preparation meets opportunity, there's still some luck element, right? So no matter how much we prepare and how much we work hard, we still have to have that moment when opportunity arise, where we can tap on because we have been preparing. So the question here is, are there any scientifically proven strategies that we can deploy to create more of those openings for us to tap into those opportunities? Okay, and I think that is a more practical approach towards today's topic. What do you think? Right? Right. So let's look at some of the backstories that I've shared with Romance of Three Kingdoms. For those of you who are familiar with the history, right, the Cao Cao and Liu Bei and Sun Tzu and all, you will see that there are a lot of strategies being deployed, and we're going to explore a few of them today, right? So now when we talk about scientifically proven strategies to activate luck, right, and increase abundance of opportunities, I'm definitely not the subject matter expert here. Okay, I do have 7 weeks coaching course that teaches my students specifically in network marketing and MLM on how to deploy strategies, sound strategies, new norm strategies for them to run their business professionally in the new norm. Okay, but I don't have the expertise to teach them to activate the luck energy, right? And for that, I do have a special guest today. So if you want to hear directly from the luck strategy master, okay, and you have burning questions to ask her, how can you activate your luck? I want you to type in luck in capital letters, all right? Type in luck in capital letters as a cheer for us to welcome her on stage, all right? Type in luck in capital letters, luck, 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 and hit that love button, love, 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 and I'm gonna bring her on stage to share with you some strategies and practical actions that you can take to activate your luck. All right? So without further ado, let's put our hands together and welcome my guest speaker for today, Amanda Leong.
Hi, Cheanu.
Hi,
Good
Amanda.
afternoon, everyone who tune in. Yeah, it's
Yes.
my pleasure to be here with you today to share this interesting topic, luck.
It's definitely very interesting, and I think nobody would reject the opportunity to be a little bit more lucky, given the pandemic has been, with us for more than a year.
Well, this is the common question I always get whenever I do consult when people come for their personal reading. When would I have good luck? That is the most common question. And actually, it's not a very good question. Why? If I tell you that you don't have luck, then what will happen? And if I say it's down 10 years down the road, are you going to sit there and not doing anything until 10 years later? Like what you have said, yes, the general traditional way of definition of luck is we get prepared so that when opportunity knocks on the door and we are ready. Instead of waiting for the opportunities to come when luck is coming, we can actually create it now in a way like what you mentioned, manipulate luck. Right?
Wow, that's really interesting to know. How many of you in the audience right now want to learn how to manipulate luck for yourself, for your business, so that you get luckier, right? Manipulate luck, right? If you want to learn how to manipulate luck, type yes. Okay. Now that reminds me of a story, Amanda. I also shared on my LinkedIn post 2 days ago. It was yesterday. We were talking about the difference between luck and strategies, and I still remember this brilliant example of deploying winning strategies that I've read about, in this Romance of Three Kingdoms series. There was this specific scene, which is called the Battle of Guandu, right? The Battle of Guandu. For some of you who don't know, you can do some research, right? So it talks about this battle scene when Cao led an army of the army size, which is 10 times smaller than his enemy Yuan Shao's army. Okay, 10 times smaller. Imagine you only have like 10,000 armies and they have like 100,000. So logically and practically, it's a losing battle, right? But Cao won hands down. Why? Because some would say that he's lucky, but then he actually deployed all the three things that I mentioned earlier. First of all, he was laboring under correct knowledge because he has been tirelessly studying the weaknesses of his enemy. All right, whether the leader was does he have a high foresight? Does he know planning, and strategies? And he found out that he's weak in that. Secondly, preparation meets opportunity. So when Cao was preparing for the battle, he actually built weapons that nobody have seen before, that targets the horses and the cavalries, so that he can cripple the cavalries and the soldiers, riding on a horse will have to battle on foot. So that's preparation. And of course, the ability to predict the future. He purposely chose that timing when he knew a little bit of weather forecast, and he brought his army approaching from the east in the morning on a sunny day, and he actually stalled the timing of the battle to begin at about 10 or 11 a.m. Why? Because by then the sun would be at the right angle shining over the opponent's troops, and they couldn't see clearly, and he won the battle. So when we look at that, it is really not just pure luck. Okay, there's a lot of strategies that he has been deploying that activates and enhance the winning chances. And thousands of years later, do we still have those strategies and tools at hand that we can use to enhance our luck?
nowadays, instead of using about luck, it's actually more a strategy, right?
Yep. So let's talk about one of the main topics for today, right? What's the difference between luck and strategy? Now, you guys, type in your own definition. What do you think is the difference between luck and strategy, and put it up here, okay? While we get the answer from Amanda. Amanda, what's the difference between luck and strategy?
Okay. Traditionally, we like to say luck, good luck means a lot of good opportunity. But like I say, nowadays, we actually use the terminology strategy, right? Because deploying the right action, and if you do it at the right time, so this is called strategy, all right? So, for example, one of the famous strategists during the Three Kingdom era is Zhuge Liang. He used metaphysics knowledge, all right, and he actually won a battle over Cao Cao. Zhuge Liang is at the opposite of Cao Cao. It's not Cao Cao's strategist in that case. If you have watched the famous movie The Red Cliff Star by Tony Leong, all right, so that movie is very good. So Zhuge Liang actually advised his the emperor that he's serving, Liu Bei, all right, a strategy how to wait for the right timing to deploy the strategy against Cao Cao, and with a smaller number of army, they actually won. All right, the same like you say, Cao Cao is known to be very, very good, right? But in this case, he still loses to Zhuge Liang, who knows how to apply a very good strategy in that. Another famous strategist, metaphysics strategist, okay. So metaphysics is not purely like what a lot of people thought that is so-called superstitious belief and whatnot. It is not. They're very smart people. Another famous one is during the Ming Dynasty. The founder of Ming Dynasty, the first emperor, actually had a very good strategist named Lin Bo-wen. He actually had to go a few times already, count down to the strategies to get the strategies come out of the mountain, so-called, right? Because they were this guy, this called Go Yan, is actually staying a very relaxed life, in the jungle retreat lifestyle. So the Ming Dynasty founder, the first emperor, has to go there to really plead for him to come and help me, because he knows this guy is a very smart guy with a lot of good strategy. And finally, he agreed to be the strategist of this Ming Dynasty founder. That's where he actually overthrown the previous dynasty and founded Ming Dynasty. So these people are documented. They are the first very people that have been using metaphysics successfully from those days. We call them strategists, and they are well known. It's documented in Chinese history, right? As a Chinese metaphysicians who have been successfully using and deploying all these strategies, correct action, advising the kings, the emperors, doing the right thing at the right time. So this is how we actually can use metaphysics smartly. In the modern way, of course, we, instead of using it to fight battles, which is for our business purpose, it can actually help us a lot.
So, and besides business, we can also use metaphysics for health and relationship purposes, yes?
Of course, definitely it does help. In fact, in another way, like I say, besides waiting for the opportunity to come, as I mentioned in my earlier post, we can in fact create it. So how to create it? In fact, one of the way is by using feng shui. If you know how to use feng shui correctly, be it at home, for your house, or for your office, you can automatically create a lot more opportunities. One more thing, if you were to ask me which first, house first or office, that's a common mistake. A lot of people who are in business, they only thought of improving the office feng shui and ignore the house. In fact, if you have to choose one, start with the house first. It's even more important now where a lot of people are working from home, right?
Yes.
So start with the house first. I see a lot of good examples which I can share. One of it, in fact, is one of my very successful clients, Mr. F. I actually helped him just before our lockdown started last year, March. I remember very well because the first week of March before lockdown, I actually helped him with his condo feng shui just by advising him some very simple things to do. No renovation needed, just by choosing the best spot, the most good energy in the house for him to use as office. And he start using it and start seeing result. Despite the whole lockdown for the whole year, he's not affected. Instead, doing well. Business even expanded, and in between, a few months after that, he actually engaged me to help him to look for a new office for the new feng shui. So I actually helped
during the lockdown.
Yes, in fact, during this past 1 year, he expanded his business, get a bigger office. So I actually helped him with the office feng shui as well. On top of that, all right, a lot of people are really envy and jealous of him. He even bought himself a new BMW 7 Series.
Wow.
Can you imagine it? During this pandemic, he got a new BMW 7 Series. All through by just starting with the house, the condo feng shui. So this is what actually feng shui can do. But like I say, we can just mention it. But I know a lot of people are a bit hesitant to go out of their comfort zone. What if my house feng shui is not very good? Can it be improved? Do I have to move out? A lot of questions. Right? Again, there's no one fixed answer for all. It really depends on each individual property, whether it's a house, landed, and condo, because each of it have their own different energy level as well.
Right. So basically, feng shui and metaphysics, from your point of view, it's a lot of science, and there's a lot of scientifically proven, things that we talk about, like physics and energy and all. How do you differentiate? Other feng shui practitioners, they talk about superstitions, and I know a lot of people grew up believing that feng shui is part of superstitions or a religion, or a ritual. How do you convince them that actually, what you are doing is helping your clients put up strategies to improve their life, and it's nothing to do with superstition and rituals?
Honestly, it's not my job to convince them. That very often also I come across this. In fact, one of my latest posts in LinkedIn, I put there. I actually share an experience where I actually try to tip off an ex-colleague, telling her that her condo feng shui will be bad because the environment changes. So this is one thing we have to take note, because over lunch she was telling me that there's a new flower coming up just next to her condo. So immediately I actually tip her off. That is going to be bad for feng shui, but he just brushed it off. I don't believe in feng shui. So for me, normally I don't really will do additional talk thereafter to convince them, because I do my part as sharing. On the convincing part, I honestly do not do that. But my practice has all the way been very scientifically approached, and no rituals introduced, and they are not required to purchase any crystal, any ornaments and whatnot. It is mainly on the layout of the house and so forth. And some ask me, why no good, the flyover kind of thing? But this sounds easier to explain. Like for this case, it's easier to explain. Why? Because the construction, a lot of noise, pollution, dust during the construction itself. And when the flyover is ready, the negative energy, the force is very great. The momentum create a very big force. Definitely too strong, and it's too strong for comfort and too near. For example, this kind of is very bad. That's why she eventually become a bankruptcy, because she ignored the advice. She just continued to stay there, hoping that things will be good. And not only that, thereafter, after when I put the post, it actually garnered a lot of views on that particular post. And one guy even commented, and some also asked, what about if it's a landed property? So happened there is someone who shared the experience of his friends whom he know. They were staying beside, the friend was staying beside a main road, was initially doing all right until few years ago, there's a new flyover that is built next to the friend's house, next to the main road. And then things started to turn around really bad. The friend lost the job, which he has been working in the company for more than 10 years, lost the job. Not only that, the sister passed away at a very young age, 40 years old only. Didn't mention what's the reason. The father got dementia, and then he himself have to go for 2 or 3 surgeries. Probably he got tipped off thereafter and quickly moved out. After he has shifted out, things started to improve a lot. Now things are a lot more better. This is another example that's being shared. If you say one incident, maybe a coincidence, I share mine, but the other person also commented and shared that this is what he know truly happened. Flyover next to someone's house. Very bad.
So that means you are saying that the environment, even outside of our house, right, is as important because it affects the overall energy and the physics and the dynamics of the surrounding. Is that what you're saying?
In fact, it is even more important, the environment, because most of the time it's beyond our control. And also the energy from our internal environment, where does it come from? It actually comes from the external environment. That's how energy flows, just like oxygen. It flows around the vicinity. You see, although we can't see it with our naked eyes, but the energy that we have in the house actually flows from the environment, the external. That's why it is even more important. If the external environment is good, you just have to do a little bit of minor adjustment internally by choosing the best spot to do your work and all that. You will start to have very, very good results. But instead, if the other way around, the environment is very bad, a lot of people I know, they don't like to move because a lot of hassle. Some people say, wow, it's not easy to move, a big shift kind of thing, So they were hoping that by putting something can mitigate it. This is where a lot of crystal rocks, ornaments, all those things are being sold, Hopefully, those people who think that by putting all this can help, actually, it doesn't really help, all right? So
they don't work.
It doesn't work, all right? So water placement could probably, but has to be deployed carefully, right? But definitely not any other objects. So that is when I say sometimes when it's too near, like just next to the highway, it is really inevitable to move. And I say out of the comfort zone, not many people are willing to do. But unfortunately, that's the only way. If it's really too near. If it's further away, then it's still not too bad. Right?
Right. Now that what you said really reminds me of what I did a few years back, right? So, I have to admit, I never believed in feng shui and all, when I was growing up, because I was taught that, hard work and, practical, honest work will lead me to whatever I want to achieve. And, so I don't quite believe in all these things. And, even though when I was reading horoscopes about, Chinese New Year, we always have this program on TV, right? It's like, oh, this year, if your zodiac sign is this and that, and then you got to look out for this and that. I always, tune into all those things with a pinch of salt. Okay, it's like, it's for entertainment, right? Because obviously, if I'm born in the year of Tiger, it can't be everyone who was born in the year of Tiger have the same luck, right? So it's like I can't be that general. So it's like, okay, it's an entertainment. But then it was about like a few years back that I started to learn a little bit about metaphysics. I got exposed to metaphysics, knowing that it's actually science, it's actually physics. It's actually something very scientifically proven and practical. And there's nothing to do with superstitions and all. So I started to have some interest in learning that. And like a lot of people, I started with attending free seminars, or some workshops, that talks about this. And of course, we learned a lot of tips like, so this year, you got to use this sector more, or you got to sit facing this position more, and stuff like that. or some of the techniques like, when you sit, you got to make sure your back is facing the wall, like what I'm doing now, and don't face the bookshelf, otherwise it's like blade, cutting through you, and all this stuff that I learned. And I start to do DIY, right? Do it yourself. I start to move my furniture, where to sit. And as I went a little bit more advanced, I think I was advanced, okay? Actually, it's just another beginner who was doing it for the second and third year. So I started applying more specific tips, like, hammering the nail at a certain spot, at a certain hour, okay, I put a pail of water at a certain sector and all. I did those things, right? I did those things for the past 3 or 4 years. Now, I must say, it did help a little bit. It did boost a little bit. Okay, it's like, after I put a pail of water, after a few days, I think I got the sales in, but not a big amount, but at least something. So, once in a while, I get some like small little boost here and there. But when I look back, for a whole of 3 to 4 years, it's kind of like still the same, right? So yeah, I get a little bit lucky here and there, but for like small growth spurt. But things are still the same. I did not progress significantly after 3 or 4 years until I met you. I think it was 2019, right? I think I met you in 2019, sometime in April or May. Okay. Then you told me this thing. The problem is that I did too much of DIY. Now, how many of you are like me? We're doing DIY, so you hear someone and they say, let me move my work table over in this sector, or you learn something, is let me put a pail of water there, or put an aquarium, or hit the nail, type DIY. All right, if you're like me, type DIY. And of course, we all did it with good intention. We want to improve something in our lives. We want to get unstuck in some areas in our life. So you are the one who taught me, Amanda, that although those things might work for like 5 or maybe 10% at most importantly is still my personal energy chart and my house energy chart. So even if the sector, is good for that year, might not apply to my house if my house has a bad energy in that sector. So the more activity, the worse it becomes, right? So what do you have to say about DIY luck strategies that that people use, like what I did last time?
All right, and like you mentioned, there's 2 parts to this. Firstly is the personal energy. This is where the free tips is. I even have it on my YouTube, the 12 zodiacs and all that. By popular demand, we have to do that. But it does very minimal help. All right, like you say, but it's fun. Reason why? Because most of us only know our zodiac sign of the year. But in actual fact, all of us have 4 zodiac signs.
Oh.
Not only that, even though sometimes you're able to plot some free charts, whatever, so you are just analyzing it maybe one by one. But there is chemical reaction in each and every one of it, So that actually makes a lot of difference. Therefore, I would advise that you go for professional help reading if you really want to make it productive. Know the energy pattern, what is a good action. I say, what will be a good strategy for you instead of listening it like a fortune telling thing. All right. So the reason why I joined the business platform, which I met you in 2019, is because I know that year I need to do networking. That's why. Before that, I never joined any of this type of platform for networking. I've never done that. That's why I took the first step. Just by doing that one particular action, I joined the business networking platform. And because I am so new, to me, if I want to do something, I will do it well. That's me. How to make it effective, how to make the best out of this platform, how to do networking effectively. That's why I attended the training on networking. That's where I get to meet you.
Yes.
You see, so it's all action based. We are not doing fortune telling. I am not doing fortune telling. Don't come if you want me to tell you fortune. Oh, what's my luck fortune? No, I normally will advise them actions to take. What will be a good action for you to take this year? It doesn't have to be a lot. If you do that one particular action well, that will help you a lot. So that addressed the personal part. If I have answered you on why do not DIY, because each of us have very different personal energy, and that we can actually write on, just like using it as a base, even though you roughly have an idea what to do. But why do we still switch on the base? So that we know what to expect, whether the road ahead there's any roadblock, any police, and what are the alternative roads. If that road has been closed, cordon off due to lockdown, whatever, then we don't have to worry. We can in fact detour easily. Another alternative road is available. That is how we use the personal energy, right? Then the next one, answering your very interesting question about DIY, about the feng shui there, you move your table here and there, everywhere. It's a very common thing. Besides that, also, okay, why? Because as you mentioned, each of our own house have our own permanent energy chart, which carries more weight, and there's chemical reaction on its side effect, which I also posted on my LinkedIn. Those of you are watching from LinkedIn, please do send me a request connection and read my post. I elaborate in detail. What is the side effect? Remember very well one case where my client, before she engaged me, she also like to do DIY, attend all those annual seminar, free talks, whatever, and then start using the place, so-called is a prosperous area for that year, make a little bit of money from stock trading, but when the side effect kicks in, it costs her a lot more, because the court case costs her 5-figure amount to settle, all right, just for an apology only. Do you think it's worth it, the kind of side effect? Of course, a lot more to it. And even more dangerous is when you start DIY with water, playing with water. Because some people really take the word water is wealth and they start to put it everywhere. So this will actually do more harm than good. Recently, I just did one feng shui for someone who, after reading my post, realized that water feature can't be put everywhere, and because one of the family used to have all these water features around the house and is definitely a very serious health condition. So definitely when I check the house, is all at the wrong place. Therefore, it resulted in a lot of health issues. So please do not play. It's not do not play with fire. Do not play with water. It is very dangerous. Another thing, why you're not so effective. At least you're still not too bad. You got a little bit of a windfall, little bit, right? Some will not be able to even get it right. Is because when you do the measurement with your apps, with your mobile apps, compass, or even with those compass, is definitely not as accurate as those that we use, the professional feng shui compass, we call Wopan. Because to the exact degree, it makes a lot of difference. If you miss the position by 1 degree, it will make a lot of difference, especially water placement. So you can actually do more harm than good. Therefore, please do not DIY. That's my advice.
So what I get from here is that if we are really serious about increasing the luck energy, increasing our own energy to receive more opportunities, it's like, if we want to use this metaphysics techniques, it's like going to a doctor, right? So we have to get a professional, medical professional to advise us what to do, or a professional nutritionist to advise us, how to plan our diet because we want to reach this health goal. So same things with metaphysics, because it's physics, it's science. Okay, it's not something superstitious. So if we really want to activate that, it's best to get a metaphysics professionals like you to advise us specifically what to do. And those are what I call strategies to enhance and activate our abundance and opportunities. Okay, because DIY feng shui is just like DIY self-diagnosis and go and buy medicine that a lot of people are doing still, right? So that brought me to one of the example that I personally experienced after meeting with you, when you told me that there's only limited boosting I can do with DIY. So after you analyze my personal chart, my energy chart, my house, and everything, and I follow exactly all your advice. I think I'm one of your best students. Follow exactly to the dot. And I still remember last year when we had our national lockdown, the entire country was in a lockdown for the very first time, and all of us were like, don't know what to do because none of us had been in a lockdown before. 3 days into the lockdown, I became a viral star on Facebook because of one single Facebook post that I posted about remote grocery shoppers. Okay, I think some of you here have seen that post before. And you told me even before the lockdown started, you say, this year, if you follow all these things, you will definitely have exponential increase in your visibility luck. I didn't quite get what that means. I thought I'll be meeting more people. But that incident, that super viral post, that really, that was my personal experience of how powerful a correctly placed feng shui strategy can actually do so much for our life. So was that what you were, foreseeing when you were telling me that?
Yes, that's why I remember telling you, be visible. You have to be at the front end and not back end, you see. So the details sometimes we may not be able to tell you this particular post or whatever, but definitely I tell you to be the front liner, be in the front end, not at the back end. Make sure people see you. Go on stage, all right, on Facebook and whatnot. So that you see the strategy, these are the strategy, but the details, like you say, on the tactical details, like you say, then you will have to do planning yourself, because every one of us have different strength and weakness as well, you see. That again, your personal chart will come in, you see. So everybody have their own strength, but how to, like I say, deploy it effectively on a case-to-case. Definitely, you are one of my very best so-called student, and who really do
really follow everything to the dot.
Follow the advice. That's why you see the results. You see that post, like I say, really go viral. I remember it's not only just viral on Facebook. You are featured on the Star and TV7 national news and a lot more online portals. Thereafter, I remember someone actually used your story and create a YouTube video, and it goes viral as well, because this is so funny, and it is actually what people are facing. And I think you are doing a national service. Thereafter,
yes.
I think a lot of supermarkets are putting poster, that shows the photo of the veggie and the names of it. I think,
and they also offered personal shopping assistance services and all. So I consider my community service for the Father's Day last year done.
I think that is definitely something good which you have done, creating the awareness to a lot of people that the ketua rumah, the house, the house leader doesn't know how a veggie, a carrot looks like. I remember that post. Yeah,
and in now that we are still in a lockdown or semi-lockdown, even different parts of the world as well. So if they feel that they are stuck, in their business or in their personal life, because somehow you see when our energy is stuck, a lot of areas in our lives would be stuck. Because I do believe in this, that emotion is actually the word emotion. My definition of it is energy in motion. Okay, so the energy has to be moving, right? Energy has to be in motion. So a lot of times when we have this stuck energy and it affects our emotion, it also affects our results and our actions, and things that's not manifesting in our lives. So for people like that, if they realize that they are stuck and they are looking for a solution to get unstuck, how can they reach out to you? Or a better question is, if they reach out to you, what can they ask of you, and what can you provide to them as a solution to help them get unstuck?
Okay, firstly, awareness is the first step to everything. Whether it's awareness to change, awareness of your own state of mind. So by coming to me, firstly, I will let them really see, I will be like a reflection, a mirror to them, telling them exactly this is what is happening. And most of the time, they are a bit shocked because I know them so well, because I've never met them before. So if they are friends or their family members, sometimes were to tell them certain things, sometimes they may be a bit defensive. But coming from me, who have never met them before, most of the time, yeah, it's like a wake-up call to them. Yes, this is what's happened, all right? So the awareness is there, and they have to make the change consciously. That's the first step. Because by doing the same thing, you cannot expect a different result. By doing the same thing, you will get the same result. And if you are not happy with the result that you are getting, obviously change is needed. And what to change? So this is the part where my consult will comes into handy. We'll be able to help them. Which are the area that they need to change in order to be better? That is as a personal energy itself. And of course, there will be certain opportunities that I may spot from their own personal chart as well. That like to them, these are the opportunities that you can look out. But this is still a very passive way. Even better, if it's a proactive way, is go and activate your house feng shui, improve your house feng shui. This is the part where a lot of people, after hearing, they may not take action. Most people, I say, out of, I think maybe only 20% of the people will only take action on feng shui.
I'm definitely your top 1%.
Yeah, that's why you're doing so much better. Look at those that are highly successful business people. I'm telling you, most of the time, 99% of them are using feng shui. It's just that they don't talk about it only. Most of the time, I go to their office on weekends when the staff are not around. If you think feng shui doesn't work, why are the rich people still using feng shui? Is it because they are lucky, they become rich, they become successful? So-called lucky? Is the lucky is because they know how to manipulate luck to their advantage. And using feng shui is in fact one of the most important strategy that they have been deploying and using all this while.
So for those who are very intentional and and they don't want to go with this DIY strategies anymore because it's really taking a lot of time and it's not giving them the result that they want, they can reach out to you. Even during the lockdown period where we can't meet face to face, you can do a virtual consultation with them.
I can do a virtual consultation for the personal consult. As for the property, that one I will have my own special arrangement. Of course, now full lockdown is a little bit difficult, but when it's not full, then we can still do it by appointment basis.
Right. So all they need to do is just to reach out to you, right? So if you guys are on Facebook, you can click on Amanda's Facebook page and follow her for more tips and strategies. And if you're on LinkedIn, please do send her a connection request. And of course, to ease people who are watching this on a replay or on a mobile phone, they can't be typing so many things on the link. Just type comment. Energy, right? Type energy, right? Comment with the word energy, and Amanda will reach out to you and help you with getting some clarity on how you can improve your luck situation and your energy to receive more luck. All right. And of course, when we talk about luck here, it's not a windfall, like you strike the lotteries, those kind of luck. Of course, those would be something that we don't want to reject also lah, right? But of course, with the luck here, we're talking about activating your energy and implementing sound strategies to increase the probability of you creating opportunities. Sounds good? Right, good. Wow, I see a lot of people typing energy, right? So yes, Amanda will be reaching out to you and share with you a little bit more. And if you can, do send her connection request so that when she DM you, it goes straight into your inbox, okay? Or else, just watch out in your inbox if it is in the spam folder or anything. LinkedIn has a lot of restrictions and stuff. So yep, good, right? Before we close, all right, any of you have any burning question that you want to ask? This is your last chance, right? Type in the comment any burning question you really want to ask, our master here, right? Now, and I definitely have experienced tremendous help, from Amanda's advice. Like I shared just now, the visibility with the Facebook posts and all. Not only that, there was one recent experience. I really have to share this, okay, because this really, shows how powerful Amanda is. Recently, if some of you still remember, we had a lunar eclipse on Vesak Day. That was like about 2 or 3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, right? So a lunar eclipse is very different from a solar eclipse, right? And so Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'm not an expert here. So a lot of time when we hear about eclipse, better stay in-house, don't go out. And most of the time we are talking about the solar eclipse. But that day, that evening, when this eclipse happened on Vesak Day, it was actually a lunar eclipse, not a solar eclipse. And of course, I saw a lot of posting on social media, even forwarded WhatsApp messages that I received, warning people not to go out, because the lunar eclipse is bad. All eclipses are bad. But having Amanda as my personal metaphysics strategist, I like to use that word strategist because a strategist can see things that you can't see, and you can actually tap into that wisdom to improve your result, right? So I regard Amanda as my personal metaphysics strategist. So of course, when I have a personal metaphysics strategist, I don't go with all the forwarded messages warning. I ask it directly. So do I have to be afraid of this lunar eclipse? And Amanda actually told me, not all eclipses are bad. Solar eclipse, yes, but lunar eclipse, not all are bad. In fact, some people, based on your own energy chart, right? Some people actually can tap into the advantage of the lunar eclipse, and you are one of those for this year. Okay, so it's better for you to go out there and stand under the moon. That the time it was like sunset time, and for like 10 to 15 minutes to absorb the energy of the lunar eclipse. So okay, that sounds like a big risk if I was to follow the forwarded messages from the WhatsApp and all. So I did. I'm a good student, right? So I did, I did my manifestation, and I cleared my mind, under the moon and all. Within a week from that lunar eclipse, I actually had 3 miracles happen to me because I have been following up with these 3 deals that I had been in a deadlock. They were telling me that, let me think about it, not now, or I'll get back to you. So these 3 had been in a deadlock for like a few days or 1 week. All 3 of them be converted into done deal within the 1 week after I went outside, to absorb the lunar eclipse. So see, these are the things that show us you have to get targeted professional advice if you're serious about it. Not just general advice. Just like the COVID, we have a lot of general advice flying around, and our DG always tell us not to heed those advice, right? So that is my personal experience, So yeah, metaphysics strategies. Okay, so let's look at this. Dr. Nurul has is metaphysics related to NLP? That's a very interesting question, right?
Yes, interesting question. No, it has nothing to do with NLP. NLP is more on your subconscious mind, your mindset. Metaphysics is actually science. But unfortunately, from ancient Chinese those days, a lot of things are not really documented in detail. They are not explained in detail, but it's actually a type of physics, like those force, energy, momentum. And of course, we have to do some certain calculations as well. So very, very complicated formulas, which is hard to explain in science, but it is actually science, nothing to do with NLP. Very different, yeah? Hope I understood. Explain, Nurul, Dr. Nurul.
Okay, awesome. All right, so it's almost 1 hour, and really happy to have you here, Amanda, and hopefully, all our audience who have type energy, we get to connect with you as soon as possible. And
I will connect with them. Please do send me a request so that I'm able to PM message you directly.
Yes, do remember to send Amanda a connection request. Let me just highlight here again. This is her LinkedIn profile, right? Send her a connection request. And thanks so much, Amanda. I think we have a lot more to learn from you from time to time. Hope to see you again on my show during Chinese New Year. That's the peak season where a lot of people want to know a little bit more about, hey, how is this things going for me and all. And of course, for those of you who are specifically in the MLM industry, in the network marketing industry, you don't have to wait for Chinese New Year. Okay, you can always type a 15 here, and I'm going to send you a form to request for a complimentary clarity coaching call. Because as a network marketing coach, I do coach people on using sound strategies that is practical in the new norm for you to build your MLM and your network marketing business without looking like a spammer or a hunter. Okay, so if you are in a legitimate MLM business, do type 15 and I can schedule a complimentary call to you. And for those of you who are watching on Facebook, do join our free Facebook group that I've created to share tips and strategies to MLMers and network marketers. Okay, so with that, Amanda, do you have any last message for us, and on how can we do better this pandemic?
Thank you for having me here today, Cheanu. It's an honor. And definitely for you guys who learn to do networking effectively, Cheanu is one of the best person. He is my best student for my profiling for success class. Therefore, he will advise you a very personalized strategy that is suitable for you and not a general strategy, one for all kind of thing. Very personalized to you, to your personality. Please do see Cheanu for your 15 minutes clarity coaching.
Yes.
More for him.
If you're in network marketing or MLM, come and look for me. If you're in other business, go and look for Amanda. All right. Thank you so much, Amanda. It has always been a joy speaking to you, and I hope all of us here learn a lot. And do connect with Amanda if you want to learn a little bit more on how to personalize some of the activities that you can do. Given that we're in the lockdown, I think it doesn't hurt to activate our luck a little bit, because all of us need that, right? So with that, I thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you, Cheanu. Bye-bye.
So I'll see you guys again on my next LinkedIn Live. Thank you so much. Take care and stay safe. Bye.
Such a great tip.
Yeah.
Really great. No, it's really great. That's the best tip that I've heard till now. Really.
Awesome.
You're so kind and so funny. Thank you very much for your time and for your great advice and your great tips. Thank you.
You're most welcome.